Right, Saspinus Gamgelo the morning show. Thank you very much for choosing to stay with us. Now, Ukuphahla is simply explained as a way of communicating with one's ancestors. However, there are many questions as to how to go about doing it. Why do you need to do it? When is another question. Where and what do you need? Uma Ukuphahla. Well, to answer all these questions and more, as usual, from Omsamo Institute, we're joined by Usiyabonga Mkhize. Welcome to the morning show. As usual, thank you very much for having us. And today we're speaking about something that is very relatable with a lot of people, and there are a lot of questions that we ask umaskuluma ngokuphahla. But I think we must start right at the beginning. Kuyini ukuphahla?
So ukuphahla is a way, ukuphahla or kuthetha nabaphansi or khuluma nabaphansi is a way of communicating with your ancestors, which anybody and everybody can do regardless of their level or rank within the family.
Okay.
And you can also, it's not location specific. And on top of that, the resources that you need to get it done can be found pretty much worldwide. You don't necessarily have to be in Africa to get the elements that you need. Ukwenza ukuphahla noma ukukhuluma nabaphansi.
Ngazi kanjani uma sesifikile isikhathi sokuthi ngiphahla ngaze lapho ukuthi uma kunje kusho ukuthi sekufanele ngiphahla?
So ukuphahla is something we should do very regularly. When you have dreams, always record your dreams, because remember what I said about dreams. Dreams are kind of like trailers to a series of movies in your life. The only thing is you don't know which trailers for which movie, and you don't know in what order are the movies. So in order to figure that out, you need to record your dreams down in a dream book, and then you need to, when you speak to your ancestors and communicate with them, you need to tell them to give you clarity on what you have seen, so that it's specific. You can't be general or vague in in your communication. You need to specifically say, okay, that white goat that you showed me, who is it for? And why am I doing it?
Hopefully we'll get you back to speak about dreams in depth, because there are people, probably someone now who's watching and they're saying, well, I usually forget my dreams. So what happens in that instance where you know you dreamt of something, probably something significant, but you do not remember your dreams?
You see, we have a bad habit as people that we don't record our dreams. So this is my dream book here, the one I've brought. That's my dream book that I use to record all my dreams. So the reason is because apart from it being a spiritual issue, also scientifically, human beings are very bad at remembering their dreams. So as soon as you have a dream, you should wake up and write it down. Even if it's only two sentences, you've got to record something, so that in the morning when you wake up, those 2 or 3 sentences trigger you. So that ngesikhathi ulale that night after uphahla, you have something to work with. Because uphahla happens over a couple of days, and you need to have something that it's a journey that you're starting with step 1, uphahla, then you go to day 2, uphahla, you go to day 3, uphahla. But with each day, as abadala are showing you more and more, you are saying to them, okay, thank you for showing me this. What does this mean? And then they show you a little bit more, because they need to also know that you are listening to them.
Okay.
Does it make sense?
Yes, totally. What do I need uma ngizophahla? Because abantu umuntu uzobe namakhandlela amaningi with different colors, kunempepho that's there for either to purify or to send the signal, whatever the reason is. We'll speak about the significance, but what do I need uma ngiphahla?
Okay, so the thing is, all you need for, first of all, ukuphahla can be done anywhere, whether it's whether you're in renting or at your own home. Even if you're staying at a hotel, you can do that. Even if it's just a B&B and you're traveling for work, you can do it. So the resources that how we do it is that you can find these anywhere, wherever you are in the world. Even if you're not in Africa, it's just an enamel dish, right? Candle holders, please use proper candle holders. Don't just drip the wax on the floor and then put it down, because then it's going to topple over and you're going to burn your house. So use proper candle holders and 2 white candles. Okay? So in the middle, we just don't have it, but in the middle you'd put water in. You can use amanzolo, seawater, or you can just use normal tap water. It doesn't have, or holy water. There's no special requirement with the water.
Okay.
And then you'll light your candles left and right. Okay? So the left represents your mother's side of the family, and the right represents your father's side. I'm speaking from my point of view. Okay? If there's no problem and everything is fine, then because there's oxygen in the room, the candle should burn.
Okay.
So if there's no problem on my mother's side of the family, the candle will burn down perfectly fine. If there is no problem on my father's side of the family, the candle will burn perfectly fine. In the event that, so after lighting the candles, and you've called upon your ancestors and you've spoken what is in your heart and what you need clarity on, and you must emphasize that, can you please make the answer as clear as the water in this bowl?
Okay.
If the right side burns down and the left remains standing, that means the issue is not on my father's side of the family because it's burned completely, which it should, but it is in my mother's side of the family.
Okay.
If the left burns but the right remains, that means the issue is on my father's side of the family. In the event that they are both standing and they both haven't burnt, then you're facing an identity crisis, because that means it's like we don't know where the problem sits because we don't know what side you're actually sitting on. So usually those people are facing a bit of a surname issue, a lineage issue.
Okay.
But if this one say this one completely burns, right? And this one burns to just about halfway.
Okay.
That means mother's side of the family is fine, but there's a small issue that needs to be attended to on your father's side of the family, and it's not that big of an issue. But if you have it like this, that means mother's side of the family is fine, but there is a big issue that you need to deal with on your father's side of the family.
How long am I giving this? Is this all on day one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So these candles usually come in a packet of 6.
Yeah.
So so you're lighting 2 on the first day, you have your water, Ukuphahla. Usually, most people will wake up with a dream at about maybe 2-3 hours later. What you see, you put it down in your dream book. It's important that you put it down, whatever it is, even if it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Even if it's, you know, a pig flying and what, it doesn't matter. Just put it down. And then what you will do with this water in the morning, have your usual shower and everything. Then in your basin, just pour this water into the basin, take your cloth, and just dab your body a little bit. And also communicate with your ancestors saying, thank you for showing me what you've shown me.
Yeah.
I understand now what I need to do. In the evening, that night, again, you go back to the dream book, you'll light the candles again, you'll say thank you to your ancestors for getting back to you with the message.
Okay.
Maybe they've shown you umuntu omdala that was coming to you, but you couldn't really see their face. Maybe you can see it's an old woman or an old man. Then you're saying, okay, please can I get better clarity? I'd like to know who it is that has come to me. Please show your face to me, or tell me what I need to do for me in order for me to see. Help me see what I can't see. Do you see? That's on the second day.
Yeah.
Then on the second day, and then on the second night, maybe I'll have a different dream where now you can see their face.
Yeah.
But now you need a name.
Another revelation.
Then on the third day, now you're asking for a name.
Okay.
Do you see? So it's as you're going on, and then you're recording all of this. So as you're going on, you know, okay, kune salwazi, there's an old woman by the name of Sbanbani who needs something.
Yeah.
You see? So that so when you go Uyenyangeni or you're going to a spiritual healer to consult, you must go with this.
Okay.
Because Inyanga is going to tell you what you know. You need to do A, B, C, D for Ukok. And you're like, how? No. I mean, I saw Ike. This doesn't. That's when you know what to know. Lo,
okay.
Do you see?
All right.
Mhlambe ubona manza maningi. If ubona manza maningi, kusho ukuthi imimoya yakho yesindawo.
Okay.
But then inyanga yakho uthi no, ngizokulapha ngokwesinguni. You're like, no.
Yes.
Do you see?
Yeah.
So this is your best piece of equipment that you can. This is very important. You need to do this maybe 6 or 7 times before going to see a healer.
Okay. But does it mean ukuthi uma sengiphahlile, whether it's the 3 days, the 7 days, probably sekufanele ngihambe ngiyohlola? Or can I just be content with the messages that I've received from abadala uma ngibacela ngesikhathi sokuphahla?
So you can be content with this in the sense that if you know that they're both standing, all right?
Yes.
That means you know there's a surname issue. You can go back and home. It's ma, bab. How were you guys married?
Yes.
How did I get my surname?
Okay.
Gokom cool.
Yeah.
Then you can know okay, fine. There was an incorrect surname, and then you consult our contents and our literature, and that Umsamo makes available.
Yeah.
And you can help yourself. Many people have helped themselves with this process without us actually ever intervening.
That's very interesting. What's also interesting, Sia, is the fact that you speak of these 2 white candles and a bowl of water. You made no mention of impepo.
Yes, impepho is so sacred in that not everyone awukwazi ukushisa impepho ubaba wakho usaphila. Impepho umuntu that can okwazi ukushisa impepho aphahle ngempepho is unomzana wasekhaya.
Okay.
If it's not my father, it's going to be my uncle. If it's not my uncle, it's going to be my great-grandfather. If my grandfather's not around, then it's going to be my eldest brother. If it's not my eldest brother, it's going to be my other eldest brother. If it's not him, then it's me. If it's not me, then it's going to be my mother. Okay. And even when Uma uyaphahla athi cha badala, she must say to the ancestor, I am only doing this out of the situation that we have no males around, or we have no male figures to actually conduct this process. Ngoba impepho, and it's grossly inappropriate that this trend of wonke umuntu seshisa impepho, high school kids bashisa impepho. Yikho nje, you're not getting answers and things end up worse than they were in the first place. Sure. Because you are not supposed to ukushisa impepho. And also because impepho comes in 3 forms. Le yedlozi, le yamawele, ne le yazangoma. Very few people know how to identify the differences between the three. And that's why, and these two here, le yazangoma, le yamawele, are specially reserved for people. Yi le yedlozi that we can use as commoners, but even then, so what people are doing is they don't know how to identify which one to buy, kwa mai or wherever the place may be. But they also don't know, so you could be using the wrong impepho, and on top of that, you shouldn't be actually akwazi ukushisa impepho ubaba wakhe esaphila, no baba omncane, no umkhulu.
So how do I identify the 3 types of impepho mase ngifika ka mai mhlawumbe ubaba usaphila and then ngifuna ukuyothenga impepho? How do I know ukuthi naye yedlozi kufanele ngiyisebenzise?
So it's difficult to describe without me actually having them here with you. But the reason, but that's why we keep it very simple, and we tell people just use this process. You can use a sniff, you can put in 2 1-rand coins
in the water.
But the thing is, if you're in England or you're in Australia, to get a sniff, to get vodka, or to get access to those impepho is not gonna be easy.
Yes.
So this is the simple way that anybody, black, white, Indian, anybody can do this particular process. You don't anywhere in the world. And if this doesn't work and you can't necessarily get candles or your buildings with the rules, you can go to the ocean and do it. In the sense that you put in your 2 1-rand coins. I'm not sure whatever, to find the equivalent if you're in another country of 2 1-rand coins.
Okay.
And you throw them in, and then you call upon your ancestors.
What's the significance of that? Is it an invitation?
Yeah, it is, because it's equivalent to having water in the bowl here. So you would step into the ocean, but not so far that you drown, just so that the water just touches your feet, and then you'd call upon your ancestors asking for clarity and guidance.
Yeah. Asiya, thank you very much for all of this information. I'm sure there's a lot that we could go into, but there's still next week Tuesday, we'll go in depth with all of this other information. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Really appreciate it. CEO Mkhize Kabazele joining us today on the morning show. Khuluma ngokuphahla and the significance of ukuphahla, who can do it and why it is done. We leave that conversation here on the